They'll be organized before we're done.
I don't know if it's gonna get in the way or...
Check your cabinet doors.
Some people think RV life is all about sunsets and national parks.
After 6 years on the road and a whole lot of miles, we have learned that we were doing it totally wrong in the beginning.
And today we're going to share with you 11 lessons that would have saved us thousands of dollars and a lot of heartache.
And be sure you stick around for number 3. That's the relationship saver and what kept us from giving up from the beginning. I'm Lynn.
And I'm Danny.
And welcome to RV America.
The original RV America.
So we're not going to waste any time. Point number 1 is something that you can start using today, a quick win. It's called the 60-second walk-around rule. And before you get started, even moving 20 feet, you're going to want to do this.
So there are key things you're looking for when you do your walk around the outside of your rig. 1, you want to make sure all your bay doors are not only shut, but latched. Do them a little tug and make sure they don't come open. Danny forgot one. Also, look up. You're not just looking down, you're looking up. You want to make sure your awnings are in, make sure your slides are in. We actually left our campground one time and we did not have our chains hooked up to our tow car. Lucky for us, some woman in the neighborhood saw it dragging and came running to us and flagged us down. So we stopped, got out, got it fixed, and went on our way. But that could have been really bad if something would have happened.
And we heard a story of someone leaving with their antenna up, hit a low branch, and that cost thousands of dollars. So a 60-second walk around will save you the heartache and some money. So guys, we've been RVing for 6 years. We've been most timing over the last 5 years, which means about 8 or 9 months of the year we're on the road. We have a home base that we go back to go see our friends and our family and do things there. But what we want to do today is give you these tips that will help you make it up to the pro level so you don't make the mistakes we made at the beginning. So point number 2 is make sure you get an inspection. We've heard the horror stories. Something is wrong with some of these and you don't want to inherit someone's problems. We've bought used, so we made sure we had someone inspect it to make sure we didn't have any problems that were too big for us to handle. And we've heard so many horror stories about people getting new rigs and having so many issues that they got overwhelmed. And that brings me to the point, just because you bought new, it doesn't mean it's perfect. Usually the used rig has all the bugs already worked out by the previous owner. But if you get new, still get the inspection.
So number 3, your brain is a liar. No matter how many times you have done this setup, tear down, all the stuff, I promise you, you're gonna think you have done something and not have done it. That's why a checklist is important.
Yep. And we have checklists for setting up, tearing down, packing, and other items. So if you want any of those, look for our email in our bio and just let us know that you want those checklists.
Yeah, Danny will be glad to send them to you. Just got to send us an email. So have you ever forgotten something? Took off and left something at the site, didn't have a bay door closed, whatever. Put it in the comments below. Let us know. We want to know what to watch for. Number 4 is the 3-3-3 rule. This is something we abide by, guys. You never go more than 300 miles in a day. Always, always do your best to arrive by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Why get to a campground when you're just going to sleep and you're not going to have any time to enjoy it? There are things to do at these campgrounds and you want to spend time there, enjoying the journey. And last, never go like this really hard, 300 miles, more than 3 days straight. On that 3rd day, take some downtime, spend 2 nights at least so that you can get revived and rested and you'll feel like getting up the next day and moving on. This will do a lot to prevent arguing when you're backing in. You won't be tired, you won't be frustrated. This is why we call it our relationship saver. Number 5, when you get in these rigs and drive them down the road, you are basically going through an earthquake every time you move. You know what that would do to your home? Well, it does the same thing here. there are things you need to do. You need to go through right before you leave, make sure all your cabinet doors are closed. That's one of my last things that I do before I sit down to take off. Now you might want to ask me why I did that. It's because one day I didn't do it in the bathroom. And then when I went in there, all the stuff in the bathroom cabinet had fallen out and it was all over the counter and all over the floor. It was just a huge mess, and then I had to spend time cleaning it up. So I learned. Also, we had friends and she went around and checked the screws on her RVs, and I guess the vibration of the Class A going down the road, and it goes the same with any RV, shook the screws loose. She had so many screws that she had to tighten up and get back where they needed to be. So you're going through an earthquake, check your screws, check your cabinet doors, check everything you can check to make sure that you are not going to be in trouble.
Number 6, make sure as you're starting out, you have the essential toolkit. Just the basics to start with, and as you learn more and more, you might get more tools. And the more you know, probably the more tools you're going to have. I've got the basics, and my friend Tom's needs to carry a trailer behind him because he carries so many things. But we're going to talk about it in a few minutes of why you're going to need that toolkit. But make sure you have the essentials.
Number 7, know the height and weight of your rig. This is so incredibly important. If you notice, we have it right here on our dash where we can see it. I can see it. Danny can see it when he's driving. We can see it at all times. Anytime you're going underneath a low bridge, there will be a warning that low bridge is coming. That's your point that you're supposed to check and make sure you will fit. When we had our first rig, I thought we could fit anywhere. We couldn't. We did not have one of these on the dash, and we came up on a bridge, and Danny was in the back doing something, and I was driving, and I yelled at him, "Will we fit under such and such a bridge?" And he goes, "No, we won't." And I had to slam on the brakes and get off the side of the road, back up until I found a place to just go a different way, because we simply would not fit. Now, we were not using RV Life, and we were just using Google Maps. So it didn't work. It was a very learned lesson that I have never forgotten. This rig would not go under that bridge at all. So whatever you do, make sure you know the height and the weight of your rig.
And speaking of weight, that leads us to our next point. Make sure you understand how much you can put into your rig. Each rig has a different amount of weight they can put into the rig. And if you're not careful, you can cause issues. And these issues could be not only gas mileage slowing your way down, but it also can keep your rig from stopping on time or any other issue because you've got too much weight in it. So know how much you can put in there and keep an eye on that. And if you need help, not sure how much your rig weighs, you can take it to a CAT scale at most truck stops and you can figure that out. One thing that I've got that you don't have is Lynn, and she will take anything out of the rig that we hadn't used in the previous trips. So that usually keeps our weight way down. So that's a good point. If you see something you hadn't been using, take it out.
Just because it fits in the rig doesn't mean it should go.
Good point.
Number 9, and this is something that we have had a lot of trouble with, mainly me. We are not on vacation. Danny tells me all the time, we are not on vacation. We are most timers. I still have to clean the bathrooms, change the sheets, do the laundry. Danny still has to do video editing. That being said, we need down days. We need days that we are just around the campground, taking care of things. And we have to plan those into wherever we're at. If we don't, and we're go, we get another of those times where we're just like really fussy at one another. I get upset when the camper's really a mess. He gets upset when he's not got the videos done. So now if you're in a vacation that's actual a vacation, you can wait and do all that stuff when you get home. And that works great. But with us, instead of thinking of it as a vacation, we have to think of it as a lifestyle, because this is what we do mostly full time. So
Yeah, and I wanted to point out the first year.
oh yeah.
We went from Maine to California in just a matter of months. So
Yeah,
it was go.
6 months.
And it's like, I have to get there, I have to get things done, I have to do something every day. You really don't. Once you're a most timer or a full timer, you can slow down, enjoy the journey, and get the things done that you need to get done, whether it's maintenance on the rig or cleaning of the rig. And so,
yeah, it took us a full year, maybe even a year and a half before we actually slowed down.
she still struggles with it sometimes
I
because
still do.
she says, we got to have some, she basically wants something to do. Let's go hike here, let's go shop here, let's go do that almost every day. And
I want to plan.
you got to take a second to say, what do we need to get done?
I'm not really good at sitting around. Even when I'm at home, I'm not good at sitting around. So,
But
little hyper.
you've got to get things done. So remember that. So speaking of most timers, which we are, we're out, as we said, 8-9 months a year. What are you? Are you a weekend warrior, a part-timer, a full-timer? Or are you a most timer like us? Let us know. Put it down in the comments. Point number 10, learn. Be willing to learn. Going down the road, as Lynn mentioned, in these earthquakes, something's always going to mess up. You got to be willing to learn how to fix things. And the great news is there's so many sources. The internet, YouTube has saved me so much, from fixing a refrigerator that went completely out to me fixing it. Amazing. We'll link that video up above. But be willing to learn, go to the sources. And if you're like me, you have some friends that help you. And I learned so much from them. So be willing to learn so you can fix some of your maintenance issues. So let's finish up with point number 11. And this makes everything so much better. It's the RV community.
We have been to some amazing places over the past 6 years. I mean, amazing places. However, it's the friends we've made along the way and the friends we still have. We still talk with them, still communicate with them. We will be friends for a lifetime. Those are what makes this lifestyle so worthwhile. And that was one of the things we really didn't realize when we first started out, that we were going to be able to take away from our RV travels.
Yep, we've traveled with old friends. We've met new friends and traveled with them. We've met you, the viewer, out there. So
and we love meeting you. So if you see us out somewhere, be sure you come up to us and say, hey, don't be afraid to, because we love, love, love to meet people.
And so our point is, take time to get to know your neighbor, sit around a campfire, get to know them, learn about their lives, their trips. You're probably going to want to go somewhere they went.
Yeah.
So take advantage of the community.
So question for you. Have you made any new friends along the journey? Someone that you've stayed in contact with that you feel like you'll be friends along the way forever? Put it in the comment below.
We hope you take our lessons learned, our mistakes, and apply them to your RV life. That way, maybe you won't make the same mistakes we have.
And if there's anything that you know of that you think we could learn from, let us know. Put it in the comment below.
Yep, everybody learns from everybody. So if there's a lesson you've learned, put it down there.
Yep. Also, be sure you hit the subscribe button. It really helps our channel out. Also, leave us a comment. Tell us what you're doing today, where you've been, where's your favorite place. We're looking for things to do this summer. Until next time, God bless and many safe travels.
And go RV, America.